Hey, hi people. I hope I am not late and welcome to the stream. By the way, you must have seen that title key. There is a workshop in which you can actually earn and actually learn how to earn money, right? And I know there are a lot of people that are from south and all the way from the west and east as well. So I think all the people are comfortable in English only. Let me just know in the comments. All right. So let's just actually begin with what we actually are having today. So as we all know, it's it's about how to turn open source into real contribution or real money. So how is it gonna actually happen? Is it even true or is it a clickbait that am I lying that this is not even true? And this is actually true. So, well, there is this thing that what is exactly open source, because when I dropped the message in the WhatsApp channel now, that if there is someone who is having problem with the open source or with anything else, there were so many DMs that I was having. What is actually open source? What is exactly how to turn this into real money? How to do this? How to do that? So I am quite aware that people are not knowing what exactly is open source, and if you are already knowing that what is open source, then great, thanks a lot that you already know it. So let me just tell you what is exactly open source. Is it Git, or is it GitHub, or is it uploading projects on GitHub and getting as many stars as you can? So it isn't like that, to be honest. It isn't just Git, it isn't just GitHub, it isn't just uploading projects on GitHub. So basically, you must have been through thousands of tutorial. Even when I was a beginner in open source, now I used to watch a lot of tutorials, and I used to make a cheat sheet that how to learn this command, how to actually use Git, how to use GitHub, or this that. I was just stuck in a loop which was not actually breaking through. I was not able to break through that loop. I was just going to Git, I was just going to GitHub, and then I was just uploading my projects, which were super duper silly. And now, well, sort of, these three things contain open source, but it isn't just it. We have a lot more. Let me just tell you that open source is a wide and wide and wide thing. I have been into open source since 2 years, and I must claim that I have only learned the 60% part of it, and I am already into open source a lot. So I think that open source is a huge world, and you are just going through this much when you are watching those tutorials. So what I want you to do is now stop watching those tutorials and don't waste your time on those random tutorials. Don't follow any tutorial before even confirming that
मीडिया
whether
टीम को मीट
that
में ज्वाइन करो
information
बोलो
is
वीडियो
even true
निकालने
or
बोल दो
not, especially those
अपने मीडिया
clickbait
टीम को
YouTubers that
ज्वाइन
learn Python in several hours, learn Python in 2 hours. Don't watch those.
ग्रैब कर
And
लो
let me just
लैपटॉप
tell you what
वगैरह
open source is, because I have been talking about what open source isn't, but I haven't talked about what open source actually is. So basically, open source is a collaborative ecosystem where people from all over the world come together to build software. Now, let me just give you a golden example that I bet you that you
थोड़ा
haven't
स्टेम
heard it in your whole life. So
वीडियोस वगैरह
basically,
शूट कर लो
let's say you got
लाइव
into Google, right?
वर्कशॉप लाइव हो गया
Claps for you, and that you got into Google, but you are still not ready to work with all the developers you are having among your team. Why? Because you are not ready with what you were supposed to know about open source, right? So let's say you are into front end of Google. Now Google, what do you think of Google? The open source is just a simple platform. It just have that search bar. So basically that's not it. The like the front end only, it have a lot, and lakhs of people are working behind it every single second of their life. And that is something that you have to work on when you work in Google. Now, to work with lakhs of developer, what you must know is open source or GitHub platforms like GitHub. Now, when I mention the term knowing now, it doesn't mean that you know how to upload a Git repository, how to fork or clone the repository. No, it isn't it. When you are like you have a suggestion that when crowd comes to Google now, when there is so much crowd on Google, so at that time Google is crashing, let's say. So now you have to come up with an idea that Google team, this is my idea, this can be solved by this thing, I can work on this. So you have to submit that in a proper etiquette. You can't even you can't just say that, sir, I have this idea and the Google site was crashing. This can't be happening, right? So for that, you have to learn GitHub. You have to learn the etiquettes of open source and GitHub. So now let's come back to the what exactly is open source. So when I upload a project and I tell you guys to actually contribute to it or actually look at issues that I am having in my projects, and you are supposed to solve them. So that is open source, right? Now let's come back to what most developers stop at GitHub basics. So the most developers actually learn the most basic commands, which are for, clone, commit, push. These are the basic commands, right? I bet you that you have only and only watched tutorials, done these things live. I know that you have done, and you are not lacking behind. Don't worry. If you have done these parts now, you are not lacking behind. You have already started the pathway, but you are not on the right path, and you actually avoid real projects. So now, um, while watching the tutorial, what they tell you is, I am using the git push command and there is no sound. I hope I am audible. Let me just know. Hey, Savage Galaxy, I am actually audible. So let's actually continue, right? Getting disturbance. Okay. Let me just try to do this. Maybe that will work. Okay, I hope it's working now perfectly. Let me just know in the comments. Right? Okay, I think I'm perfect. So let's come back to what we were actually doing. You actually avoid real projects. So let's say I am a YouTuber and I'm teaching you the most basic things, which were for, clone, commit, push. Now what I'll tell you now, there is so much background noise. Okay, maybe I can decrease the sensitivity of my mic. I hope now it's perfect. Yeah. Okay, super. Thanks for okay, thanks for noticing. So let's come back to what we were actually going through. So meaningful impact. Um, there are projects that you are supposed to work on, and there are actual things that you are supposed to work on, but you are not actually doing it. Right. Okay. And the live projects are not what YouTubers are actually teaching. They are just teaching that how to use these basic commands, right? Now there are some earning potentials as well. So what earning potential is basically when you make a super duper project, like let's say you are solving a real problem related to hospitals. Now that project is turning into product and some company wants to buy it. So now they can actually buy it, they can contact you, right? And they can also sponsor your project. And now there are some things called bounties. That is the main goal of our workshop, that we have to go through bounties. Sorry. So bounties, how they work is now, let's say I have a company, I have a startup now. um I have a issue that my site is currently lagging and crashing whenever the crowd comes. So now you are supposed to solve that issue for me, and now I'll pay you to solve that issue. That is what bounty looks like. And now there are some paid open source programs. We will be inviting a open source winner program who was first winner of EWOC, and I am personally I have won the Aperture 3.0 as one of the top 25 contributors, and I got goodies. Yeah, I was not able to win the cash prize, but
बोल दो
got
बैकग्राउंड
the
पे.
goodies, and I am very grateful to the Aperture team. Now, but CD and IGNO is, let me just tell you, because you are here because of CD and IGNO, right? And of course, Code Quester as well.
हेलो 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 हेलो
Now,
हेलो.
we actually focus on practical focus. Like right now, we are not telling you, but everyone is
हेलो हेलो
actually
हेलो
teaching
हेलो.
you, and we are teaching you beyond tutorials. There are thousands of tutorials available on YouTube for the same thing, for the same topic. Get, and GitHub. Now we are actually moving beyond it. We are actually telling you how to use that knowledge to actually earn money. And there are some collaboration approach and growth approach as well. So basically, I am having a community CD and IGNO, right? Now, CD and IGNO might have a web page, might have a app further in the future. Now you can actually contribute to it, and when you actually contribute, now I'll see that this is one of the contributors. I'm loving his or her work on my project, and now I'll actually hire you for myself, for my company, right? So what you got is collaboration with CD and IGNO, the payment and everything that you wanted from open source. And now there is this QR you can scan. You'll be leaded to the LinkedIn page of CD and IGNO where we actually share all the updates. I hope you have already followed the LinkedIn page. So I'll just go through the community collaboration. Now we have collaborated with CodeQuester. I hope you already know the CodeQuester team, and I want to invite the co-founder of CodeQuester, who is Mehul Agarwal, to actually brief you through what CodeQuester actually is, as I have told about CD and IGNO already.
Yeah. So good evening, everyone.
Mehul, are we
I hope,
ready?
I hope, yeah, I hope I'm audible. Am I?
Hi, Mehul. Okay, so maybe Mehul is having some
Hello.
problems, or Mehul, you are not audible to me. Is he audible to everyone?
Am I audible?
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah, he's audible to us.
Nandini, am I audible to you? Hello. Am I audible? Okay. I hope I'm audible to the audience. Nandini, please uh, check on the comments if they are unable to hear. Okay. Yeah, so good evening, everyone. First of all, let me introduce myself. I am Mehul Agarwal, co-founder of CodeQuestus. So, before we deep dive into GitHub, open source, and earning opportunities, I'd like to take few minutes of you to introduce the community that helped making this event possible. Many have money. Many of you have gone through a coding tutorial, completed a course, earned a certificate, and then wondered, okay, what's next? Maybe you would have learned Python, maybe you would have solved few coding problems, maybe you built a project. But the real challenge begin, doesn't end there. It begins after that. So how do you find opportunities? How do you meet like-minded people? How do you participate in hackathons? And that's why Codequesters exist. Codequesters is a builders-driven tech community focused on helping builders learn, collaborate, and grow through practical experiences. We believe learning should not stop at YouTube videos, online courses, or college assignments. Real growth happens when you build, when you collaborate, when you participate, when you ship projects, when you solve real problems, and most importantly, when you become a part of your community. Over the past few months, we have been working to create opportunities for students through workshops, hackathons, open source initiatives, community events, industry interactions, career focus sessions, and many more. Our goal is pretty simple: to help students move from being passive learners to active builders. Because the tech industry doesn't reward the person who watched the most tutorials, it rewards the person who actually built something. One thing we strongly believe is that opportunities are rarely found alone. Most opportunities come through people. The teammate you meet today could become your startup co-founder tomorrow. Who knows? The community member you connect with today could refer you for an internship next year. So that's why communities matter, and that's why we are building CodeQuest. So today we have participants joining from different colleges, maybe different cities and different skill levels too. So some of you are beginners, some of you already know how to contribute to projects, some of you are exploring open source for the first time, and that's perfectly okay because every expert developer was once a beginner figuring at a terminal. So yeah, and to be fair, most developers are still doing that today too. So before I conclude, I'd like to invite all of you to stay connected with us after today's workshop. Join our community, participate in future events, attend hackathons, collaborate on projects, and most importantly, keep building. Because skills are valuable, but skills combined with action are more powerful. Thank you all for being here. Let's make today's session valuable, interactive, and practical. Thank you.
Well, thanks, Mehul, for all the great wishes, and also most welcome to Code Questers to the CDN IGNO, and I hope we will collab for further workshops as well. And yes, let's come back to the main topic right now because we actually want to. Okay, so I'll share one thing, which is the QR code of the Code Quester link. I want you to scan this QR code, and you will be able to access all the social medias that Codequesters
Yeah.
actually have.
So guys, you can access our social platforms through these QR. We have our LinkedIn profile, our Instagram ID, and many more in this QR. So please do join.
Okay. I hope everyone has scanned the QR code and it will be live available as a video on YouTube as well. So don't worry. Now let's come back to the practicals actually, because we have been talking so much. But first of all, we have to invite our speakers. Of course, me, the lead of CD and IGNO. I have been a hackathon winner. I have been the top 25 contributors of Aperture 3.0. And Aperture 3.0 is an open source program, and I got my goodies all the way from West Bengal. So I am really actually proud of that. And I have been the host and engagement lead of OSCAG and OSCN as well, and OS core team as well, because of the open source contributions only. And we have Abhishek Raj Pamani sir, who is a ex Samsung data scientist and globally recognized data science mentor. And we have Abhijit Navandar, founder and CEO of Procreation Studio, Grad Skills, Mummy's Food, Simplified App. I bet that you must have heard any of the socials all over, your FYP or anything. So now we are actually coming to the practicals. Now, what are actually GitHub Essential? You thought GitHub Essential is for clone, git commit. Nah, that's just onboarding. This is just the small part of it, and there is a huge amount left. So, what everyone actually teaches is git clone, git commit, git push, git repo, git branch. But what actually matters is now. So, as I have already mentioned, that when you are actually collaborating to anyone, even your friend or even anyone, it can be from US, it can be from America or anything. So, when you are actually writing or solving some problems for the code, so what you have to do is now there are some manners which you follow even your in your class, in your everyday life, right? So in open source there are some basic etiquettes that you have to follow. So PR etiquette, PR is basically the code that you are submitting, that sir or ma'am, I have changed this line of code, so now take this code from me and merge it in the original project. So now that is called the PR. So now you have to follow some PR etiquettes. You can't just randomly write, sir, I have done this, please, you are not even writing, please sir, I have done this, do this. So no, you are supposed to request, right? So these are some etiquettes, like you have to write readable commits if you are writing some gibberish or anything. Now there is this branch strategy and handling merge conflicts. Wait, so I know these terms might look a lot of overwhelming stuff. So let me just let you go through everything that what we, and let me just tell you that we are gonna actually live do everything live, so that it's easier for you people to actually go through everything. So I'll just look through one of the projects which are currently available. Let's say I am a total new beginner and I only know HTML. Let's say HTML projects, right? Now there are repositories. Let's go to issues. Now what issue is now? Like my project is having a issue. Let's say my front end is basically what you are seeing right here. This is called front end. So let's say this button is not working, so this is front end, right? So I'll open an issue that this button is not working, anyone in the whole world can work on it. So now this person has opened an issue, and now I don't know the hell from here where he or she belongs. I don't know what he is. So this is the what he actually says. The smart people counter. Oh, this is actually Arduino based. We won't work on it because we are not into Arduino right now. HTML. There is this good first issue. Okay, good first issue. Add French locally. Okay, superb. So I found this repository. Let's say I'll solve it with AI, or I'll don't merge the PR. All right. And let me just do one thing, that I have looked over this issue, right? Now what I'll click on this icon fork, and now you are not supposed to change the name, not the description. Now you are supposed to create a fork just like that. And now what you'll actually go through now, this will create a fork in your computer, and this is actually a project for yourself. And now what you are supposed to do is click on code and then click on this URL. Wait, let me just, give me a minute because my Wi-Fi is a bit lagging. Let's welcome back myself. and we were going through the issue, right? So this is the code repository we have created from this repository, right? Now let's go to our files, and we are supposed to create a simple folder. Let's say test. I'm just creating a normal folder. And I know that I'm using Ubuntu. You can do it in Windows as well. So go to the terminal, use git clone, and I bet that you will find this same thing over multiple tutorials. And if you have any issue even after this workshop, now you can just call me or message me anytime. So now what we are supposed to do is go into the AI compliance tool, and we will actually go to our Visual Studio, and let's actually look at the issue. What was the genuinely issue? What's a fork? Okay, so fork is basically like, let's say I have a project and you want the same exact copy of that project in your GitHub or in your computer. So you are supposed to create a fork, right? And if you want to work on that project, so you'll have a copy of that project, and you can mess with that project anyhow. The project mentor or the original project won't be able to know that until and unless you actually tell them that I am manipulating your code. So this is related to documentation. This okay. So what this actually says is copy this JSON, copy this file to public locals and message JSON. Translate. Oh my god, this is like, this will need Spanish, but I'll just because I don't know Spanish, what I'll do is now I'll copy the content of this, and what I'll do is I'll tell my AI to do this because I don't know Spanish and I have picked this issue and we can't even switch from that issue, right? Now, the basic etiquettes, right? I mentioned the basic etiquettes. First was to create a fork. That was the basic etiquette. And the second thing is there is this branch mechanism. So now let me just show you the real thing. So how branch actually works now. This is the can you see this blue line? So this blue line is made by the project admin. This Leonard, Gisler, whatever the name of this person is. And this yellow branch or this pink branch is made by someone else, someone like me who is working on this issue. So we are supposed to switch the branches so that our branch can be visible like such a superb color. So what you are supposed to do is now git branch, just name your branch whatever. I just name my branch myself because I don't know. Now git checkout to Nandini. And now we have switched the branch. Look, this button popped up, right? So let me just go through the issue because this is actually saying that you are supposed to change the language of HTML file into Spanish. So I'll tell the AI, could you work on this issue quickly? And this issue has been already, has been already considered and has been already assigned to someone else. But what we are actually gonna do is, could you assign this issue to me? This is another basic etiquette, and you're supposed to also mention the project admin, but we are gonna not gonna do that because I'll be deleting this PR later on because this is clearly done by AI and I don't want any single contribution in my profile done by AI. So you're not supposed to work on this issue until you have this assignedness under you. So right now it's assigned to Snakefold or something. Until and unless this person, Leonard or whatever, assign this to me now. Until then, I can't work on this issue, this thing that I changed the branch, and this thing that I'm doing with the AI. Now, what is the benefit of the branch? Right? You must be thinking that what is the actual benefit of the branch? Now, branch is basically like if, let's say, let's come back to that Google example. So now let's say you are working on this branch and there are multiple people working on the same branch, and you are working, let's say, on this package.json, and there are 10 more people working on the same line of code, let's say this. Now how do you think the project will be, or the code will be submitted? It will return an error that 10 people are working on the same line of code. So now we will actually switch the branch so that when there is a person working on this yellow color now, the red one and the orange, the blue one, the purple one are not able to see what I'm working on, are not able to, you know, even know that even I have forked the repository, right? So this branch will be merged and this branch will be merged solo. There is no need to worry about that code of line. This will be this, if there is a word I'm adding, let's say I'm adding X here. So now it will be changed on a single branch only. It won't be affecting any other branch until and unless I merge them. Right? So now this have actually solved the issue for me, or maybe not. So when it actually solves now, you'll see a button in your repository. Let's go to our repository, right? Now in the repository section, you might see the four, okay, AI compliance copilot. By the way, the basic etiquette also says that you must go through these README and contribution file, because there are some guidelines that one should be following. Like, let's say I want you to work on a branch that is named on the issue, right? Give me a minute, people. All right. Sorry, people. I am actually having a bad cough today. So now you should actually go through this file, that whatever he has written, that I want to do this, that, and what this project is about, so that you can actually know and code yourself and not rely on your AI. And don't worry, I'm not gonna merge it because AI contribution don't really, works. So now when this issue is solved, you are supposed to, uh, I'll just stop my AI. That much I'll do. So you can already see that there is a file change in my branch. And when you commit this now, you'll see a button right here which says uh, merge your pull request. So that is basically saying that what you have already done is fork the repo. You have clone of that repo, or what clone is a copy of that code in your computer, and now you have actually gone through all the readme and all the stuff, and now you are actually working on that issue. Thereafter you are supposed to submit that issue, that sir, I have done this for your code, and could you tell me that is there anything that you would like to would you like to me to work on, right? Like I solved some issue and there are some notifications right here that could you, do this, that, and I'll work on these after my workshop, of course. So what we have actually gone through is the live GitHub issue solving, and also the basic etiquettes that you should follow. Like I wrote, could you please assign me this issue? So you are not supposed to say, hey, assign me this issue. Don't order them. Now repo to issue and fork pull request we have already covered. And now what we are going to do is finding beginner friendly issues with ChatGPT. Of course, that is something that everyone has been using. So like I searched for this issue, and many of you, I bet many of
I'm
you are
Ma'am, can I?
someone who are not into open source, and they are
Yes.
actually scared of what AI actually you know what issue they are gonna solve, what issue should we search for. I am into this tag, so let's actually give a prompt, right? This chat won't have any history of mine, and my chat GPT won't have any history of this chat. I have turned the invisible chat right now. So the first thing first, I am gonna write that I am a total beginner to open source, and I don't know zero about open source. Let's actually tell the reality. And my tech stack is HTML, the most basic language I bet everyone knows, right? And I want to find a simplest issue possible on GitHub. Could you tell me about how to find it? And I heard a term called good first issue. So good, what good first issue means now that anyone can solve this issue. That is something good first issue is. And let me tell you, 99% of the developers actually work on a good first issue. Now it have actually given me something. Let's actually copy paste it. I don't know what this actually is. Let's just go to GitHub and copy paste what it have given to us. Git clone and git fork are same, right? So basically, fork is like you are creating a copy in your GitHub, but when you clone it, you are getting into your computer. Okay, that was available on GitHub. Now you have it on your local computer. That is clone. So we will just copy paste here. Now, let me tell you what this actually was. So, label good first issue. Label is something that people add so that filtration happen. You apply filters of lowest to highest price on Amazon. I know that, and that is something we use label for. And there is this language. I told ChatGPT that I only know HTML, and the state of issue is open. So you are only and only supposed to work on the green issues. If this icon or whatever this is, it's purple, so that issue has been closed or that issue has been solved. So don't work on that. Make sure to work on open issues. So let's check through. Okay, this issue is actually superb. So, what the goal of this issue is, add an English summary to security.md. So, what it had is, this is not even related to HTML. This is like documentation. Anyone can do. You're writing letters or you're writing chapter summary, right, from childhood. So, now you can work on this issue if anyone wants this. And this issue is already open. You can work on it and you can actually find such issues. And there are some recommendation ChatGPT gave me. Okay, so you can also try this. This was not mentioning the language exclusively. And there is this website that it gave me. What is it? Good first issues. Oh wow, superb. I was not aware about this website. And I told that open source is huge. And I know 60% and 10%. And I don't want to exclusively mention that you only know 10%, and let's just filter that I only know HTML. Wow, super. This repository have good first issues and we can actually solve them. This is a project called Cake Build. Yeah, you can actually work on any issue that you want. So what we actually did is Chat GPT is actually helping to find good first issue. And there are multiple resources that it gave us, And I bet that most of the people out here that are watching already are aware about these issues and HTML. And if you are not, so before contributing to open source, please and please work on any stack, any single tech stack, whether it's app, AI, or web, or anything that you have interest in. Just work on it and then try to contribute to others' project. And don't be worried at all, because when I contributed first time, now I made a lot of mistakes. I didn't follow those etiquettes, and that made me actually create more and more issues. And that project admin was so gentle. He said that I am creating a special issue for you, you can actually work on it, and please take a little bit help of ChatGPT so that you can know that what you are actually going through. And this is the special thing, documentation, that I mentioned, that anyone can work on documentation issues. Accessibility issue is also related to HTML. This is also related to HTML. It also told me that avoid backend issue, database build system issue. I am supposed to avoid these issues because these are super duper advanced. And how a contribution actually works, this actually told me, wow. So AI is actually helping you a lot, right? So find an issue, it actually helped us with that. And read the issue carefully and then comment that hi, I'd like to work on this issue. Could it be assigned to me? So go to the repository and then make the changes and then commit. And then if you finish, you open a pull request. That's what you are supposed to do. And an even easier first contribution is fix a typo in documentation and let the project admin know that I am a total beginner and I have never contributed to any open source. I have never contributed to any project so far. So could you actually let me do this issue? Could you actually let me work on this issue? Or you can fix grammar mistake, fix broken links, improve README. So these are something that even a 12-year-old can solve. So right, now, let's actually come back to the live demo. So I want you to scan this QR. You'll be leaded to one of my projects that is actually selected in SSOC as a project admin. Yes, so you can actually register yourself in SSOC, and I'll tell you about it in the later session. So please just scan this QR until I'll call the next speaker, Abhishek Rajpamani sir, and he'll be walking you through this. एसी चला के उधर पे Okay, so superb. I bet you have already scanned this repository and you have already gotten the link of this code repository. And let me just tell you that which repository you will get. It is one of the actually this is one of the project I made personally, and this is for open source contribution as well, and also for someone who wants to learn open source. So yeah, this is what you will be having right now. I think you will be having this repository under your computer, and if you are not, just let me know through the comments or anything. Repository. Okay, so there is a question that continue after the issue is assigned to us, and is there any timeline to solve the issue? So first, I'll answer this part. So, is there a timeline to the issue? And let me tell you a story regarding this. So there was a contributor actually, and he actually said that, "Ma'am, could you please assign this issue to me?" And I actually assigned the issue, and it was maybe in March, and he came back in May a few days back, and this was the timeline he was having. So, what do you think? This timeline is valid or not? Around a month or maybe more than that. So that is not what we want. You are supposed to work on the issue right after, or like within a day or within 24 hours, so that the project admin actually knows that you are actually solving it, because there are thousands of people that are looking for issues and that might be better at programming and all the stuff, so they might steal your opportunity. So please don't let that happen. And also, after solving the issue, how to create a pull request to admin, give a demo. Okay, superb. So I'll pick a project which is someone of my friends, because I don't want to bother someone. Okay, I'll pick one of my friend, and he's into AI ML or whatever. And now let's say his README profile, his README. I want to update this. Right now, he is. Let me find an issue. Though his README is superb and perfect, what should we work on? Let's delete something from here because he's my friend. I hope he won't be bothered. So now we clicked on fork, and we have this fork in our repository section. And please make sure not to fork the README file ever, because this is one of my friend's project. That's why I'm doing this. And we were already at the stage that we were cloning the repo and we were forking the repository. Now let's create test2. Test. And let's go to the terminal and let me just clone this. Okay, so my Visual Studio is actually running. It's taking a bit. Okay, perfect. So it's actually working. And now we are having these files over here, which is under his name, because is always name according to your, according to your username, whatever you have on GitHub. And if you want to make this read me better like he have on his profile, then You can just ping me anytime on the group or in the DMs. I'll tell you. So what we were actually doing is we were deleting this fun fact. Let's delete his fun fact. Right. But but before that we should follow the oh my goodness. Maybe there is a issue with my Visual Studio Code, but never mind. I'll solve the issue. No problem. I'll solve the issue live. So the thing is, let me just walk through the real contribution strategy that you must have. That when you are following a repository in your local computer, and when you are actually okay, so maybe my PC is actually having a bit problem, and when you are actually
Okay, cool guys. Welcome everyone. Very good afternoon, good morning, good evening to this session, and I will be taking up from here. And hello, my name is Abhishek. Let me share my LinkedIn in the chat so that you all can go through my profile and we can know about each other. Would love to connect with you all. Uh, Robert. Yeah, here is my LinkedIn. I have done my bachelor's from IIT, master's from IIT. I have worked for big tech companies, Samsung, Jaguar Land Rover, and others. I have worked for European Space Agency as well on some of their projects. So that is about me. I have written a book in AI. I have done 7, 8 research papers and a patent in AI. So that's what I have done, and that's where from I come. Now, in this particular session, we will be talking about the open source, right? So, cool. Let me share my screen. I hope my screen is visible as well. Cool. Perfect. Now, if you see, this is the idea we have to explore today. Me turned everything off. Get there. Yeah. So that's the idea. Introduction to Git and GitHub. Right. About the session, we'll be covering all possible guidance on Git and GitHub. Make sure that you have to you master them that too with ease. And we'll be discussing ideas on even open source projects and everything that Nandini was also trying to explain. And we'll go through all those things in detail. Now, what is a version control system? Now, guys, imagine that you and your friends are working on the same project, okay, and you are basically have edited a new file. Okay, you are edited a file, and your system, your friend is you are in India and your friend is in US. You edited a particular file and then you updated a particular file. But what happens when you updated a file, your friend was also simultaneously editing that particular file. Okay. But when you like save your file, the changes of your friends are gone. Okay. The changes that your friend has done is gone now. Okay. So what will happen now is that it started creating problems for everyone. It started with the problem that no two people can code simultaneously, and they were facing problems. So we come up with a solution that, okay, let's try to use. Sorry, my screen sharing turned off. Okay. So we come up with a solution like, okay, let's try to use version control system. Just a second. Okay. And this version control systems are great. Okay. Because they gives you an opportunity so that you can have the detail, you can control, you exactly know who is presenting when and who is editing what particular file, and you can bring the changes to that particular file. All those things you can keep, and you can look around for it. Okay, let me move it to a more flexible full screen mode. Yeah, this is better at least. Cool. And the version control systems were very important for this case. Which changes were made, who made these changes, when were these changes made, why these changes were made. All those things can be tracked by version control system. Okay, so people, when we are working together in a collaboration manner, that is a core idea about open source, that you work in a collaborative manner. So all those things can be covered in a single system, and version control systems help you in this place. On the other hand, there were distributed version control system that we call as DVCs, that allow the full access to your file, branch, and iteration of a project, and allows every user to access full and contained history of all the changes, right? Now, a very popular use case, very popular tool or a framework that comes up was Git. All of you might have heard of. Git is a free and open source distributed version control system, and it is the best version control system we have in a century, right? Till now, also Git, GitHub, and the other version of it, that is GitLab, they are completely relevant from right from the college till the professional level, till the higher management, till whatever company you use across or you work across. Git is something, GitLab, GitHub is something that has been used across them. Okay, and that's why it is one of the best systems. Now, why exactly? What is GitHub? In that case, Git, you have already understood. Git is a free open source version control system. Okay, but on the other hand, GitHub, if you see, it's a hub. It is a place. It is a platform. Git is a tech platform. Converting the tech into a platform that can be used by users is GitHub. Okay. So now GitHub is also hosting and hosting provider. You can host your free websites from GitHub as well. I'll send you a video from YouTube, which you can use, and you can host your free portfolio website from GitHub, and everything you can learn about it, so that you don't have to buy expensive domain, and you can host your free website for as well. Now, how GitHub is different from Git? Let's have a quick introduction on that. Git is a version control system that manages and keep track of your code. On the other hand, GitHub is a service that lets you host, share, and manage your code files on internet. Okay, GitHub also uses the tech called Git. Okay, so GitHub uses Git underneath and lets you manage your Git repositories or folders easily on their platform. So GitHub is a platform. It is a company that has created GitHub. Okay. On the other hand, Git is a technology. Okay, it is a version control, name of a version control system. Now, there are certain basic Git commands. Okay, there is Git init that initializes a brand new Git repository and begins tracking on existing directory. Right. That's where Git basics and Git init command comes into the picture. Then there is Git clone. What exactly Git clone will help? Git clone will create a local copy of a project. Okay, that already exists remotely, right? It clones and includes all the project files that are there, okay, history and branches of it and everything, right? Then there is Git add. So let's say you have done some changes in your local repository and you want to push everything onto your GitHub. Let me show you my GitHub. Okay, this is my GitHub, guys. Okay. This is my GitHub. Okay, I have created this traffic sign detection system. Okay, let's say this is one of the project that I have created. Okay, I have used, so basically it's a self-driving car project. So whenever a self-driving car is moving on the road, it will detect the traffic signs that are coming on the road, right hand side and left hand side, and it signals the self-driving car whether to stop, whether to increase its speed, reduce the speed, apply brake. There are turns ahead and everything. It makes the self-driving car aware about what exactly is going in, out in the environment, right? So that is a sign detection, traffic sign detection system that I've created. Okay, now if you see, this is the GitHub ultimately. Okay, this is the idea of GitHub. Now, the project that Nandini was talking about, this is the project that we can look into. Now, this is everything, right? This is the GitHub. Okay, now this is the GitHub repository. I would say a well-maintained GitHub repository, because the best part of it is that it has a beautiful README file. A README file is something that whenever a new visitor comes to your platform, to your Git repository, he or she should be able to understand everything about the repository by just looking into your README file. Okay, he should not have to go through each and every line of the code, but he could understand it everything from here in the top, right? Now, in this particular case, if you ask me, like, Abhishek, what exactly we can say about each and every folder that is present here. So see, ideally, there are a lot of folders that you can see here, right? And I understand it. There, some of them can be confusing as well. But the basic idea that I can give you is that this front end folder is used for front end to keep the UI files. The backend folder is used to keep the server and APIs code. The infra folder is used to keep the deployment and infrastructure code. Then there is a .github file that keep the GitHub workflows, issue templates, PR templates, and everything. Right, this particular file I'm talking about. Then folder basically. Then there is a README file that you can see here. Right, this is the README.md file. This is the README file that you can see. It has architecture flow. It has project scope, quick starter. It would have a starter guide, how you can clone this project, how you can use this project, make it on your own as well. Okay, it has a CI/CD, which will basically help you trigger the complete workflow on its own, right? So all those things are there, and this is a very nice way to create a README file. Okay, and this is something that you have to learn. And when you create your own repository, README file plays a very important role in doing this. Okay. Now, the ideal flow, guys, this is about GitHub. Now, as you have already got an idea what is Git, what is GitHub, what is open source, what we are doing here. Now, I am here to give you an idea about how exactly you can create this project, or how you can contribute to this project at an open source level, or not this project, any project that you find across on the internet, how you can contribute on that on that particular project. Okay. See, the very first thing that you can see on this repo is this issues. Okay, so you have to go to this particular issue tab here. Okay, so issue, you can say a feature, a bug. Let's say you notice a particular bug, a feature, or anything, any additional feature, any additional functionality you want to add in this particular repository, in this particular project. You can go to this issue tab. Okay, click on create a new issue. Okay, now it will ask you what you want to create. You want to report a bug that is a problem in the repo. You want a lesson proposal. You want to propose a lesson, an exercise, or a learning module for this project. A feature request. You want to suggest a product or a curriculum improvement, or a feature that you want to add into this. For imagine this is a code of a Zomato app, and you want to contribute and say that, okay, I want Zomato app to have a feature of what to have, to see whether can I add a item from the restaurant that is on the way of the delivery guy. Okay, let's say a delivery guy is coming from 10 kilometers, but in his way, on his way, he has another restaurant, right? Is it possible that I can add another order on that he can pick up, and he can deliver me both the orders together, right? Let's say this is a feature you want to add. So you can go to Zomato
Sir,
repository.
sir, sorry to bother, but your screen is not visible.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Okay, cool. So now in the Zomato app that I was mentioning, in the Zomato app, you can go to this issues tab. So this would be the code repository. Imagine you are working for Zomato. This is the code repository that Zomato will have for their application. And you have to go to the issues tab, and then you have to create a new issue. Okay, and then you have to report either if it is a bug, you can report a bug that the driver is not moving or the product is showing that delivered, right? But the food is actually not delivered. So it means there is a bug in the app. Okay, you can report a bug. If it is a feature, you can click on this feature request. Okay, let's say I want to add a feature. Okay, now for this particular app, I could say like, okay, modify readme file. Okay, let's say this is a feature that I want to, this is an issue that I want to raise, that I want to modify a readme file. Okay, got it, guys? Now, just a second. Yeah. So you can describe about it as well, that I would like to improve the readme file by adding a beginner friendly contribution guide. Why this is useful, you can explain that I would like to share, I would like to add, let's say this readme file is missing, how someone can create his own branch, right? So you can modify the readme file for creating his own branch. So all those things you can describe here. Okay, you can add your links, you can add a lot of things here. And yeah, once you are done with this, you can click on this create button. Okay, and it will create a new fork for you. Okay, a issue for you. So you can submit a issue, and after submitting, the GitHub will create an issue number. Okay, 47, 48, something like that. Okay, you can see this is the issue that you have created. Let me share my screen. Yeah. Sorry, this was that. Okay, sorry, my bad. I close. This is the way you can close your issue once it is done. Okay, but let's say you are working on the issue and you want to raise a new issue. You can click on new issue and you can issue like create another issue as well. Okay, so this is how you can create an issue and work on it. Okay, now how exactly to get started on it? How exactly to write the code? How exactly to take this code? And this is what we are going to cover. So you have to go back to this code. Okay, you have to go to this fork button right here. Okay, and you can create a new fork. Okay, fork means basically you are creating a copy of this repository into your own GitHub, into your own system. Okay, I showed you my GitHub profile, right? This is my GitHub profile. You can see all my repositories here. I can go to, or I can go to my profile. This is my profile, and these are the achievements, and these are all the. This is my GitHub profile, and these are all the projects, repositories that I have on my public domain. Okay, not private, but on public domain. Cool. Now this would add another thing into my GitHub repository. Okay, so it will ask you whether you want what branch you want to copy. If it is a main branch, you can click on check this or uncheck this depending upon that case, and you can create a fork. Okay. Now a fork URL will be given to you, right? You can see a fork. This is the repository and fork from this particular repo, and that is all correct. But now it is a part of my repository, right? Now, if you see here, I refresh my repository from 55, it increased to 56, and this is my project now. I can contribute into it, right? Of course, this I don't own this, but you are a contributor to this because it is an open source project. Okay, and that is how you can make a repository that is open source, that lets you create an issue, that lets you contribute into it, into your own GitHub repository, and now you can suggest your changes. Now you can start doing those changes. Now from here, so this was a simple idea of how to create an issue, how to close an issue, how to bring a repository, fork a repository, make it yours, start working and everything. Now we will talk about how exactly we can get started with it. So before we get talk about that, there are a few basic commands that we need to see. So I will first try to clone this Git repository. Clone means that I will create a local copy of this project. Now there are multiple ways, guys. You can you can work and you can contribute on GitHub, okay, or you can make changes to it. For example, I want to make changes to this repo. Okay, the one way is that I can open my VS Code. I have my VS Code. I deleted my VS Code and installed it again. Let me see. Has it installed it or not? Just to showcase that um, to you guys that that how to install the VS Code as well, and it would take few seconds to get it done. Yeah, I think it's done. Okay. These softwares are heavy. Okay, quite heavy. So they it takes few seconds for you to always open these softwares. Okay, to install these softwares to get it like, open and get it running. So you have to be a little patient on that. Now, uh, until it opens up, right? I think it does. Yeah. This is how a VS Code interface looks like. Okay. Yeah. This is how you can create a new window. Yeah. You can clone a Git repository. Okay. Let's say you want to clone a Git repository. You can click on this, clone from GitHub. Okay. It will search for different repositories that are connected to my system. Okay. And it will ask me to clone a particular Git repository. And here, okay, this is the repository that I want to clone. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll open my VS Code. I will you can let's say this is the repository that you want to clone. Clone means you want to convert this into your local system. Okay. So let me share my another screen for it. Hmm. Cool. This is a place where I downloaded VS Code. You can go to this VS Code official. You can just type VS Code download and you will get the download link of VS Code. So that is one thing. Okay. Now, this is the repository that I want to work along. Exactly. This is a link. Okay. Now, what you need to do is you need to go to this code button. On HTTPS, you have copy this link. Okay, just copy this link. And then you have to go to your VS Code. Where is my VS Code? This is the place where I have my VS Code. I have to either you paste it here. It will ask you where you want to do it. In your local system, select a local system. It will say it has started cloning it. You want to open that folder? Yes, I want to open that repo. Okay. Something wrong. I have selected. No worries. You can always open that folder again. Let me check if it is there, cloned it or not. Okay. Let's say yeah, here it is. Okay. So this is the complete repository that we have seen. Now, if you try to match it, github.com backend, sorry, .github, backend, front end, infra, this complete repository, all these files are there now. You can see all these files are here now. .github, backend, front end, all these files are there now. Okay, so I have all these files in my local system now that are ready for me to be worked on. Let me share another screen on that. Okay. Now you can see everything I have cloned. So guys, till now we have seen how to fork it, how to create an issue, how to close an issue, how to fork it, how to clone your repository once you have forked it. And now we will see how exactly we will do all the operations. Okay, now what exactly we can do all operations. Now before doing any operation, we have to set up our terminal. So you can click on new terminal. Okay, you can see that it is already into this particular folder. Okay, so you don't have to worry about it. You can just you are already done, you have already cloned it. Okay, now it's that you can check the branch on which it is working. Okay, it is says that it is working on the main branch. If you're fine with the main branch, you are good to go. If you want to create your own branch, you can create your own branch as well. Okay, this is a command to create your own branch. Git checkout the okay, and the name of your branch. Let's say the name of branch is personal. Okay, so it will now when you do git branch, it will say that you are so basically wherever there is a star and it is highlighted in green color, if the color may change, but the main point is where there is a star, it means that is the main branch. That is a branch on which the local repository is there. Okay, then now let's say I make a particular change in this repo. Okay, let's say I removed or maybe I add. Always better to add something. Okay, let's say I add hey, I have cloned this. Okay, and I save this particular change. I save this particular change. Now, there are few commands, guys, that you have to follow in the same order. See, whenever you make a change in your local system, you have to check the status of that change. Okay, so you have to type the command to check the status, git status. Okay, and you will see that you have modified. It will tell you that you have modified a particular file. What is the name of the file? Readme.md. Correct. Of course, I have modified a readme file. That is all right. So once you have modified a particular file, you want to make sure that your modified file has to be present on this git repo that is located in your remote. Okay, right now if you see, it does not have your personal branch. If I click here, it will not have your personal branch. Your personal branch is not here yet. So once you make your first commit, your personal branch will be updated here, will display here. Okay, so let's make our first commit. Now, in order to make your first commit, in order to make your branch live, the steps that you have to follow. Now, everyone working in Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Atlassian, whatever company you say, and they are using Git, they follow the same steps. It's a 3-step process. First step, you have to check the status of your changes that you have done in your local system. You do it by git status. That is one thing. And if it is coming in red and it is saying that you have modified a change, just verify whether you have modified the right file or not. If you want to see what exactly you have modified, there is a command called git diff, which will tell you exactly what you have modified. So plus here means that you have added this particular line. If it was minus here, it means that you have subtracted a particular line. But I have only added this particular line and a space as well. So it shows plus on these 3 lines. Okay. I hope I'm making sense, guys. If you have any doubt in between, please do interrupt me. Please write in the chat or please raise your hand. I will unmute you. Okay. But I think this is easy. You have to just check the status first, whether to see what is the file that you have modified. Apply the command called git diff to know what is the difference that you have made in the file. Once you have done both of these things, there is a command called git add. Okay, space dot. It means that whatever changes that you have done, you want to add all those changes into your current commit that you are going to make. So you have to press enter, and now you can check the status again. The file would have changed from red color to green color, mentioning that you have added those changes into your current commit that you are going to make. Okay. I hope that is making sense. Now we will try to do a commit and I will explain you these things again. Okay, now let's make a commit. Okay, so till now we have done this. We have made some small change. We have added a couple of lines here. With git status, we come to know, okay, we have modified this file. With git difference, we confirm that these are the changes we have done. With git add, we have added those files, this particular change into our commit that we are going to make. With git status, we again confirm whether these changes are added into our commit or not. Then we write a main command that is called git commit. This is the second step. Git add is the first step to add a particular change into a commit. Git commit is another command, second command to make sure what you are writing a commit. Now, after -m, inside this double quotes, you have to write a message, what you want to give. Okay. Now, the message can be modified readme. This is a commit that you want to make. Commit message. You have to press enter and it will say that one file change, 3 insertions. That is 1, 2, and 3. 3 insertions. Okay. And you have changed one file. Of course, we have changed one file. It is all good. Now the last and the final command, it means that we have to push this particular commit. We have to push this particular changes into a local system, into a remote system. Okay. Now once we push this into a local system, before that I want to show you that this particular line does not exist in our current repository. Let me open a current repository. Let me open the current code we have. Let me open the README file that is present here. Let me search for this particular line. You can see, hey, I have cloned this, does not exist in this repo, in this particular file. Okay. Also, I am on the main branch. There is no personal branch is not present as well. So, but once we do this command, git push origin and the name of a branch that is personal. Okay. We are going to see those changes live in our system. Okay. Let me go back. Let me refresh. Okay, you can see my personal branch is visible here. I'll go to my personal branch. And now again, I will search for this particular line and I can see that I have this particular line as well. Okay, now this is just an example of how you can commit to a Git repository, how you can fork it, commit it, clone it, push the changes and create your own branch and and contribute on the open source system. This is just one way of doing things, right? You can do it with your interface, the UI, GitHub UI interface as well. I use UI a lot as well. For example, I hope this is clear. If you have any doubt until now, please let me know. And let's say I want to make some changes in this README file. Okay, from the GitHub UI. Let's say Abhishek, there is a small change that I want to make. I don't want to clone my repository. I don't want to do all these things, right? I just want to make a small change. That's all right. You can create your new branch. If you don't have a new branch, you can go to view all branches. You can create a new branch as well. Just click on new branch, create a new branch. Let me create a new branch with the name test. You want to create a branch from a main or your personal repo? I want to create a branch from the test main repo. I will click on create a new branch. So it will create a new branch that is test branch. So let me go to my test branch. This is a test branch that is displayed here. Okay, I want to modify README file. Let's go to README file. There is an edit button here. Can you see that? Let's click on the edit button. Okay, what are the changes? Okay, let me write here. Hey, I am Abhishek. Okay, this is the changes here. There is the option to commit changes. Click on commit changes. What is the commit message that you want to write? Again, the same commit message. Let's say modified README file. Okay, that's it. Click on commit changes. And you can see your branch is updated with the README file. And you want to see your commits. Okay, you can go back to this code. You can open your branch. This is your test branch. This is a place you can see all your commits. Okay, and you will see your commit as well, modified README file. Okay, if you want to click open and see what is the commit that you have done, you can open this and it will show you what was initially and what you have done here. Okay, and it will show you the change. Okay, so this is how, guys, you can fork it, you can contribute on the open source, and yeah, you can raise an issue and close the issue, link the issue to your clone and fork it and make the changes and contribute open source. Okay, so this was everything, guys. I think I have to cover. If you have any doubt, please let me know. I'm here. You can ask me anything under the sun and I will help you get that. Okay, so yeah, that was all from my side. Nandini, anything that I have missed or you want me to cover?
Ramjit, so much thanks that you actually walked us through everything that was possible. Did GitHub and issues, and my PC was actually crashing, and you actually took over. So thanks a lot.
That's all right.
Yeah,
Thank you.
and please, guys, follow Abhishek sir on LinkedIn, as I have dropped the social media handle of his LinkedIn in the chats as well. So please do. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
sir. Thank you so
So,
much for doing this.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Nandini. Thank you, everyone.
yeah. So, guys, I'd now like to invite Vijay Navandar, sir, who is the founder and CEO of Procreation Studio, That Skills, Mummy's Food, and Simplify Tab. So, today he'll be going to tell us about how to think like a founder and execute like an engineer. So let us welcome him.
Hello, hi. I hope I'm audible. Mehul?
Yes, sir. You're audible, sir.
Yeah, my voice is bit not perfect today. I have a throat pain. Okay, so bear with me, everybody. And to all the speakers today, uh, hello and good evening. And to all the participants, good evening. My name is Abhijit Navandar. I'm a founder and CEO of Grad Skills, Procreation Studio, Mummy's Food and Simplified App. As Mehul mentioned, there is a topic which I'm going to talk, and that's what I that's one of the favorite topic I have. Always, I love to speak on. That is, think like a founder and execute like an engineer, because that is inspired from my own journey. Okay, so my journey started as a computer science student. Like a student, I initially believed learning technology was enough to build a successful career. But as I started building products, working with businesses, and launching startups, I realized something important. Technology alone does not create success. Business alone also does not create success. The real impact happens when both of these industry, tech plus business, come together. That's why today's topic is think like a founder and execute like an engineer. So we all are living in a unique era, as we all know. Few years ago, it was if you had an idea, you needed a large team, funding, and even an office space and months of development to bring that idea in reality. Today, one person with a laptop and AI tool can build products, launch businesses, and reach customers and generate revenue from that. The barrier to execution has never been this easy or been lower like today. But there is still one problem. Many people know how to use technology. Every one of us today see in the market. Every other day we are seeing hackathons are going on, right? So there are many people participating because they know how to use AI tools today to develop a product, technical product. So they know how to use technology in short, but very few know how to identify actual opportunity in the market. That's most important, and that's the difference between in an employee mindset and a founder mindset. Okay, I hope I'm audible and you all are able to hear me clearly. Let me proceed.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
Mehul,
You're audible, sir.
audible. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the difference. That mindset is most important thing we all have to look up to. So we all are running behind something which alone is not enough for all of us. With that, even there is another industry which is business domain we need to look up to, right? When most people see a problem, they complain. As we all know, when we see a problem, we complain. But when founder sees a problem, he finds an opportunity in it. Okay. When most people see competition, a founder sees the market. When most people see obstacles, a founder sees innovations in it. Founders don't start with solution, they start with problem. That is one of most important thing, the mindset you need to have. Every successful company today in the world exists because it solved one or other problem, which at that particular time was existing. Okay. The bigger the problem, the bigger the opportunity. Remember, everybody, this is the mindset you all need to carry. You just don't have to run behind. I just want to develop technical thing. I have to be part of hackathon. I have to do, I have to just, learn everything related to technology. See, the most important thing, this is the most important thing. You need to make sure that this mindset is not what you need to have. You need to have, though you have a technical knowledge is important for sure. Today, no business without technical knowledge can scale or grow. Okay. And sometimes can't even come in the market without technology, right? So technology is important, but founders mindset, having a business knowledge is important, where rather complaining, finding an opportunity in the problem you see. Okay. Let us okay, once we identify any of the problem statements, execution is important thing now. The topic today is, as we know, think like a founder. So this was one of important thing have you have to look into. You need to think in a way where you rather complaining, you basically find the opportunity. Okay, let us talk about the execution part, the second half, like execute like an engineer. Hello. Yeah, and that's where engineer excels. Okay, engineer engineer brings structure to the idea, whatever you have. If you have something, engineers are the people who basically bring structure to idea, that they transform that imaginations into reality. They take that vision, okay, the vision we have, they break it down into steps, they build, test, improve, and scale. This is what execution is, what engineers does. But first you need to have a founder's mindset, so that you take an approach in such a way that it actually create real impact and solves the real problem in today's market. Okay, that's it from my side for today. And think before we end up, I just want to drop one question, not one question, basically a thought which you carry with you today is, what is the problem which you find around you and which can be solved by you, and you were in a dilemma that someone today or tomorrow will solve it. If you can solve it, take that take that initiative and start solving it. You might end up making big business out of it. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for the opportunity.
Well, thank you for your insightful sector. I hope
Yeah,
would
thank
have
you,
loved
Mehul.
your wisdom, words of wisdom. Thank you so much.
Thank you all speakers as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So I hope I am audible and we are all clear now. And let me just tell you, people, that I just want to thank both of the speakers that they actually joined us and they actually talked about the important thing that we want, right? And now we actually have something special for you, which is JetBrain Student Pack, and there is a teacher pack, which I don't think you'll need. And there is a boot camp as well. You can just scan the QR codes and it will be available throughout the whole YouTube journey, because this will be available on YouTube as a video. And now I would love to welcome Ayan, who has won EWOC as the first winner of, and yeah, he has gotten his trophy, his contribution certificate, and letter of appreciation and everything. And let me just tell you, I was one of the top 25 contributors, and he is the top one contributor. So I am taking inspiration from him. So Ayan, hi Ayan, if you are in the meet, could you just introduce yourself?
So, good evening, everyone. My name is Anshe. I was the winner of the live winter of sport among 5,000 participants.
And at the same time, I have I was also ranked 67 in the IIT Allahabad Open Code. I have participated in more open source contribution like Aperture 3.0, Google Summer, like that GSOC type things, and many more open source contribution. I'm still participating. I'm also the mentor in a youth summer of code right now. So, yeah.
Wow, Ayan, you are doing all good. I am actually, when I mentioned I am taking inspiration for you, I will definitely take inspiration from you to be a mentor. Because right now I'm teaching on YouTube Live, but there is a thing, difference between a mentor and a teacher, right? So, yeah, I just want to know the journey that you had from the beginning until the end and what challenges you faced actually.
To be very honest, everything started from the first year itself. Like in the sem two, I was having a subject like C का एक subject था. We were told कि आपको एक group project बनाना है and then you have to push the code to the GitHub. At that time ना मुझे GitHub आता था ना PR, so everything was done by my teammates only. So what happened ना एक दिन practical से पहले हम लोगों को सर ने बुलाया था, each मतलब हर एक को बुलाया गया था and we were told कि तुम अपना PR दिखाओ. So at that time I told sir कि like sir मैंने PR बनाया है. So he told me कि कहाँ बना है. तो मैंने बहुत कॉन्फिडेंटली बोला कि सर मैंने PR बनाया, आपके लैपटॉप में खराबी होगी. तो उन्होंने मुझे साइड किया. Then after my रोल नंबर सब खत्म हुआ, then he again called me and he told me अब बता तुम्हारा PR किधर है. So like I was just shocked and looking at him. At that time he told me one line कि like अयान अगर तू like ऐसे ही करेगा then how you will be like become a open source contributor. And वो ही लाइन मेरे दिमाग में बैठ गई थी. So I'm like मैं घर गया, then I researched a little bit about the open source contribution and after a few months मेरे papers भी खत्म हो गए. Then in my second year, like in the starting itself, I was very luckily कि like मेरे college में पहली बार there was an open source club organized by my seniors at that time, Farid and Weber. So like it was next year, मैंने उसमें गया, I started contributing and the fun fact कि Farid the ओपन सोर्स लीडर उन्होंने ही मेरे पूरे लैपटॉप में पूरा कोड बेस सेटअप किया, मुझे उन्होंने गिटअप सिखाया, ईच एंड एवरीथिंग उन्होंने मुझे कराया. उन्होंने इनफैक्ट मुझे हायर भी किया अपनी कंपनी में. देन लाइक मेनी थिंग्स वर गोइंग ऑन एंड एट द सेम टाइम रेबर वाज आल्सो हेल्पिंग मी इन द ओपन सोर्स. सो लाइक मेरा बेसिक जैसे क्लियर हो गया. देन आफ्टर 1 मंथ आई स्टिल रिमेंबर ईडब्ल्यूओसी आ गया. सो एट दैट टाइम आई वाज नॉट नोइंग कि लाइक मल्टीपल ओपन सोर्स में नहीं करते, सिर्फ एक ही ओपन सोर्स करते हैं, एक में ही करो. सो लाइक देयर वर 4 ओपन सोर्स कंट्रीब्यूशन लाइक ओपन सोर्स प्रोग्राम, तो मैंने चारों में रजिस्टर कर. देन आई वाज वेरी एक्साइटेड एंड प्राउडली सेइंग एवरीवन कि भाई मैंने चार में रजिस्टर किया, चार में सिलेक्ट हो गया एंड अप टू मैं टॉप हुए. लाइक अलग मेंटालिटी इन माय स्टडी में. सो लाइक आई started contributing in EWOC. Then धीरे धीरे like around 1500 PRs I have done, out of which 1300 PRs have been merged. And at the same time मेरा GitHub भी strong हो गया. I was having more than 5k plus contribution on the GitHub and like that was still going on. But the thing is, like in terms of difficulty, I must start failures. Like around 5 to 6 years, it was very difficult for me to contribute in any project, especially when I have to select a particular project. So it was very difficult for me. And at that time also, Farid and Devar only helped me out to select the projects, and that thing was going on. And still, right now, I'm participating in the open source program because open source is a program now, bhai. जैसे you will be learning a lot of things, and the most important thing is तुम्हारे connections बहुत strong हो गए. If you are participating in open source, trust me, it's outstanding. So yeah, that was all about my open source thing, and still I'm continuing in that thing only right now, and it really helped me to crack my internship also right now.
So yeah, thanks, Ayan. And by the way, he is a living example of open source can get you connections, open source can get you internship, and everything that you want. So open source is something that you should be doing. And Ayan, I have one more question, which is like, what was the worst part, or or the happiest part of your whole journey in open source?
The worst part was like in the starting period only I was in top 10. Now I told one of my friend कि like तुम ये repo में आओ and start contributing. What happened now? He like एक ग्रुप फॉर्म किया उसने टॉप के जो कंट्रीब्यूटर्स थे एंड देन लाइक मल्टीपल कंप्लेंट्स मेरे अगेंस्ट की इवन अगर मैंने पीआर में कुछ गलती किया एंड ऑल दैट, सो दे वर जस्ट ट्राइंग टू पुल मी डाउन. आई स्टिल रिमेंबर सिर्फ 3 महीने के अंदर उन्होंने 20 से 30 कंप्लेंट मेरे अगेंस्ट कर दी थी. मेरे ऊपर लाइक कमिटी की मीट भी बैठी थी. सो लाइक दिस वाज द वर्स्ट पार्ट ऑफ द ओपन सोर्स कि लाइक I would just recommend कि whenever you are participating in the open source, like जब तुम्हारा competition चल रहा है, don't accept any friend request on LinkedIn जो भी तुम्हारे oppositors है, like जो भी है. and like that was the worst part. And the happiest part was like कि जो मतलब main owner थे Nishant Raina, he was very fair and he was supporting me throughout. So like that was the best thing. And after I won the trophies and everything, it was cool.
Okay. So, yeah, I can understand that winning trophies is such a great achievement, and also that LinkedIn part which you got in your journey as a, breaker, or as a point that you wanted to quit. So, yeah, I have also faced some issue, and I have also, won a single program, but I hope we will be winning more and more programs. So, yeah, please,
Wow.
inspiration from Ayan, and I'll be dropping his LinkedIn in the chat very, very soon. So, please, if you want any guidance, as he is already a mentor, so yeah, he is open to chat with you, and he is open to solve your
Also
issue.
works for me.
Right. Okay, Ayan. So I think we will be saying you bye, and thanks
Thank
for
you.
coming to this workshop, and thanks for introducing and telling that what open source can actually get you. Okay. So we have V0 credits as well. As I mentioned, that we will be bombing you with some gifts and everything. So these are the V0 credits that you can claim on your ID. To scan the QR and log in if you haven't. So you'll be having 5, or I guess $10 credits in your V0 account. So yeah, I am giving you a moment to scan this QR. Okay, so there is the thing that we are having now, which is open source programs. As Ayan mentioned, that open source programs, a bit back, please, a slide back. Okay. So as Ayan mentioned that open source programs can lead you to internships, or can lead you to anything that you want, right? He got his first internship. He talked to a founder, and he is being recognized by that founder, and the founder himself gave him the internship. He won trophies, he won goodies, and he won everything that he wanted at such a small age. Now there are three programs right now which I am also a part of. There is this first program which is SSOC, and Abhishek sir showed you a tutorial, or a walkthrough that how to actually contribute and what project you are going to go through. So that project is one of the project admin projects, which is of course me. I am the project admin under SSOC, and you can scan this QR if you want to be a contributor under SSOC. And of course, I'll be helping you out if you are not aware of open source, and if you are having any problems. So please feel free to reach out to me either on LinkedIn or on WhatsApp. So you can just scan this QR. It will lead you to the SSOC websites. Register yourself as a contributor and try to contribute to my project and other projects as well if my project doesn't match your tech stack. And there is this NSOC as well. In this program, I am actually one of the contributor, and I am trying to do my best under this program. Yeah, and you can be a project admin in this as well, but in further branches, because right now it's almost at the end. So you can be a contributor, of course, and get your certification. And if you are able to win the program within such a small timeline, then most welcome. And there is just GSSOC, right? So GSSOC isn't GSOC, it's Girl Script Summer of Code. And when I mention Girl Script Summer of Code, it doesn't mean that it's for girls only. If you are a boy, you can also be a part of this program, and you can be a contributor. And let me just mention that the projects and the contributors and the team of SSOC, and also the Girls Script Summer of Code is the best. So do check it out and register yourself as a contributor, and message me if you are having any problem. So now the most awaited part, which we were waiting for, is earning through open source. And is that true? Yes, it's actually true. And Ayan was a live example of that. And Mehul, could you just turn off your screen sharing? I just want to share something real quick. Okay, people. So there is this thing mentioned. Okay. So the first thing first, which is mentioned right here, is GitHub sponsors. And now, what's actually GitHub sponsors? Sponsor, what do you think sponsor term actually means? Sponsor is a term that means that someone is paying some amount of money for your project, that they are, supporting your project or actually product. When you make a simple project, I have dozens of projects, but I don't have a product. Product is basically when you make a project that can be that is scalable and that can be bought or sold to any company. So that is a product which you make in a hackathon or any, when you have that potential. So let's say I have made a product which is related to, let's say, hospitals. I'm solving a hospital problem and hospital owners actually likes it. Now what they're gonna do is sponsor my product and give me some amount of money, and they're actually gonna buy it for me. So I'm getting two types of money, right? And now, um, sponsor is basically that they are supporting your project, so that you can actually buy. Let's say you are buying domain for your project, so that is actually, something that is done by real money. So that is you can do by sponsors. And now there is this site issue hunt and Algora. So now we will be actually going through some practicals. Algora is something that I love personally. You are supposed to search for Algora issues. Now if you are not paying attention to whatever we have done, or whatever, whatever we are going through, just please pay attention to this one. So please go to the site of Algora. And Algora is what? So I gave that example, right? That I am a company owner, and now I want you to solve some issues for me, and I already have that issue, but I don't have enough time to solve that issue myself, and I don't have developers. So what I do is, now I put an issue like, sir actually walked you through a issue, you know how to solve an issue and everything. So that particular part that you actually learned is gonna be helping you to how actually turn that into real money. So on Algora, basically what companies does now, let's say I don't have a developer. Now I'm having a issue in my project, and I have such a big company and I want to solve it quickly. Now what I'll do is, I'll open an issue and I'll open it for everyone, and I'll put some amount of money on that. But whoever solves this issue first will get the amount, or whatever, money. So Algora issues, let's search this. Okay, so these are the documentations and Algora profile. Maybe Algora is having, okay, sign up. Superb. So let's go to the sign in, and I'm gonna sign in as a developer. Continue with GitHub, of course, because they'll be having your data and everything. And here you can actually, fill in your profile and everything. But what we actually wanna do is now, first fill in your payment details and everything. And I'm not understanding. So let's actually, do this on GitHub, not on Algora. So issue bounty. You have to search bounty. That's it. Now, what bug bounty means is now bug bounty is the same thing you'll find on Algora. And I'm not sure, maybe they might have changed their UI or whatever. So you can look over the issues and issues Algora bounty Algora. Superb. This issue right here, it is a issue. I don't know what issue this is actually, and reward claims. So now when you solve this issue now, you'll get total whatever the amount that is written here. Right now it has written 00. I know, but there are issues that can be solved or that are live. But I don't know. Maybe Algora have changed their UI. That's why I'm not able to see the issues live. Let's try to search if I am able to search any Algora issues. Let's say bounty. Now you are supposed to search only and only the word bounty, because bounty is the thing that I explained that I am having an issue. I want you to solve it and everything. So that is what bounty is. And we are not able to find any bounty right now. Let's search for claim, because we generally use this when we want to claim some issue and some amount. So I think I'm not able to find it, but even if you try to do a little research on Algora and try to look over your profile and everything, I bet that you'll find. And if you are not able to find it, you can just drop me a DM, because I have helped a lot of people before even the workshop, and I am happy to help you even after this workshop. So Algora is covered, right? Now, but let me just give you an overview of Algora. Algora have predefined issues like you just go to the dashboard of Algora and there will be predefined issues with predefined tech stack, like let's say HTML issues. Now HTML issue will be there. Of course, it will be a little difficult because earning money is not like drinking water. It's a little difficult, of course. So you have to look through that issue and solve it ASAP. And if you want to be in bug bounty now, then please stay active on GitHub, as make a fixed amount of time that I will stay active from 9 to 12 early morning, and I'll be looking through issues and I'll be solving the issues. And let me tell you, these are only the two platforms that I'm mentioning, and there are bunch of platforms that actually have bounties and all the things. So when you actually get into it, you'll be able to do research and you'll be able to find more than me that I know or even others know. So now this site is issue hunt. Now this site is actually given by some Japanese company, but this is actually the best site that I could find. That's why I have mentioned only two sites here. So now, as I mentioned, that there is a filter like thing that you do, like Amazon, from lowest to highest price. So now what you have to think or search for is bug bounty, the word I mentioned. And please search for the public bounty, because the programs, let's say there is a company and they don't want to make their stuff public to all the people. So what they do is put the stuff private. I don't know why they even do it, because if they are into, they want to others solve the issues for them, then I don't think that's totally necessary. So I just got into IoT, and I actually got into IoT a little. So I'll be selecting this, and I know this is written in Chinese or whatever, but there is this these details like configuration and implementation error, what you can actually solve. And there is this error handling vulnerabilities, and you'll be able to understand all these terms if you are doing a little research. Of course, you won't be able to understand what vulnerabilities is until and unless you are into open source. Of course, I am able to understand half of it, because as I mentioned, I know 50% of the open source. So you are supposed to read these all the info about this company. Of course, you should read all the info. Why? Because there are some code of conduct and there are some policy. Okay, we found the policy that you should follow. Otherwise, the company might ban you or the company might report you. Now there is this activity bar. What this activity bar is showing, that this person actually submitted a report that I am having this issue with your site or with your platform. You can work on this. Now, if this issue is actually valid now, this person will actually get paid according to the level of issue, of course. Now, disclose don't have the special thing, Hall of Fame. Now, these are the real persons that have actually found an issue in this site or whatever platform this is, and they have actually won some amount of money from this company. So, yeah, I think, okay, so yeah, this person have solved a lot of issues, and yeah, undisclosed amount of money, but this person have actually won something. And let me tell you, this is not a clickbait, because this site is actually, you know, used by a lot of people, and I am not that crazy to show you some fake things and everything. So I think you have gotten the JetBrains pack and also the V0 credits. And we will be wrapping the sessions for now, and we are opening the Q&A. Let me know if there is a question you are having, because I saw that there are multiple people that are having the questions. And I want to thank all the speakers and all the guests and the Code Quester community, as well as they collaborated with us and of course brought us some South audience. And if there are any questions, do let me know, because the Q&A session is open. So yeah, there are a lot of chats. Let me just go through them. Okay, so you were actually explaining to someone. Okay, super. So if my feature branch is long lived and main keeps changing, what's the best way to stay in sync and avoid bugs, release, merge conflicts later? So merge conflicts, I know merge conflicts is a thing that everyone hates, even I hate. And main keeps changing. So you should, what you should do is, like, there are of course thousands or maybe dozens of people working on the same repository. So you should be pulling all the changes in your local computer accordingly that you think that this project is having changes. Now just pull them to your local computer so that you can actually know what the changes are and what the changes have been already made. And I'll be sharing all the links and everything in the WhatsApp group also, so that you can, go through everything and go through the PPT as well. And of course, please register to SSOC and try to contribute to my project, because I'll be able to help you just by that project, right? And if there are further questions, do let me know, because yeah, we will be wrapping this session soon. And also, you can call or message me anytime, that whenever you are having issue with open source or any other criteria or any other, college life or whatever, you are having, because I have already solved problems of a lot of people in the WhatsApp group. And yes, I am open to all the DMs. Thank you. And I think we will be wrapping the session now. So bye bye, people. And thanks for joining. Bye bye.